Oh, he's been recording. He's been
I've been recording
for like 10 minutes.
Well, I know, but like, go. Real go.
Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie Podcast. We are here for a very special non-denominational birthday week. That's right, Kobe got to pick a movie that we all got to watch, and now he's here to join us to talk about that movie. What was that movie? That movie was Way of the Gun. Did we like that movie? No, we did not.
Pause real quick. This is a Heavy Uncles show. This is a full-on reunion.
Yeah.
This is the Heavy Uncles? Oh, shout out Heavy Uncles. Big ups, Uncles. We're going to ask ourselves some deep diving questions about Ryan Phillippe over the next hour and change, and why
happened in Baltimore,
and why, and what happened in Baltimore specifically. But that's it. Welcome aboard.
We can never go back to Baltimore.
I got that whole town in my rear view.
Baltimore.
Before we go forward, I just do want to say that this is kind of like a payback for Cosmic Sin.
So you're.
I wasn't involved with that.
This is my fault. It's my fault we're watching Way of the Gun.
Now I just want a cover or a remake of The Town that's all just in Essex. Yeah, I'm putting this whole fucking town in my rear view.
Yeah. Oh God. Starring Stavros Halkis as the lead. He's the best.
Like I called that guy the F slur at Napa. Like you ain't never been mad before. You remember that bit?
Yeah. All right. So yeah, welcome aboard, Kobe.
Thank you guys for doing this.
Returning character on the show.
Yeah.
Character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a real person, folks. We just made him up.
No.
Not anymore.
It's all work, brother.
Yeah. Don't work yourself into a shoot, HH.
Look, if Jeff Jarrett can come back, anybody can come back.
Jeff Jarrett.
COBY.
Yeah.
NIDA.
C double O double B double Y.
Thank you.
You can't see him at home, folks, but he's grasping a guitar and he's wielding it over his head.
We should all get Kobe Nita just across our knuckles.
Kobe.
Hell yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Like I'm a big fan of cheese and not spelling.
All right. What did you all watch this week? Well, we'll start off with our special guest, Kobe. Did you watch? Well, you can extend this out. Did you watch anything interesting lately? It doesn't have to be
birthday boy.
We didn't do a show last week, so we're 2 weeks back. So yeah.
Yeah, I watched
with it.
I watched the Halloween Ends during Halloween time.
Oh no!
I wanted to end myself too.
It was so
That's
bad.
Like the worst iteration of all the Halloweens.
That's a good segue to suicide.
Yeah,
it's a worse than the Rob Zombie ones.
Yes.
Is it worse than Way of the Gun?
Yeah,
it's more boring.
Yeah, for sure.
I hated it also. I believe I talked about it already.
And like the spoilers, the daughter and mother kill the brother together. Michael together. Yeah. And it's like the cheesiest scene ever. Like.
But I don't know why. It also felt really tacked on, like the supposedly like the climactic battle of good and evil that we've been building up to for like 30 years, like felt like an end thought. Like they're like, oh yeah, we got to put the Jamie Lee Curtis versus Michael Myers fight in here.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's like Hogan and Flair and TNA. They're like, oh, they never booked that in WWF, so we need to do that like 20 years later.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
It was awful.
And the acting was terrible too. And Corey, I mean, come on. What the hell is that? I called it right off the break. Right when I saw the character in the movie, I was like, they're going to make this guy the new Halloween character.
He's the new face of fear.
Yeah.
In the Rob Zombie ones, was Jamie Lee Curtis in them?
Yeah.
No.
She was in like an insane asylum, I think, in one.
I think
that was the H2O. That was the H2O.
Okay.
Did he recast her with Sherry Moon Zombie?
No, I don't. I think like those. They like didn't. I don't. I can't even fucking remember. God, I don't think Laurie Strode is even in those movies.
There's weird divergent timelines with the zombie ones. The zombie ones are their own leg.
Well, the Halloween ones that Zombie did were kind of like more of his childhood too. So it was played by a different character, the younger version. Yeah.
It was
Rob Zombie's made one good movie.
Yeah, Devil's Rejects.
Yeah,
and
That's
I question that's even good anymore. I haven't seen it in so long. I don't know if I'd still like it.
I was gonna rewatch it recently actually because I remember I did like a deep dive. I did like the witch one and did the other one
that
where
was
they were like
terrible.
Where they like hunted for sport or something. It was like Lords of Sin.
Lords of Salem was the witch one. That was terrible.
That was awful.
That's the movie that ends in like a weird like Tim and Eric segment because they ran out of money and it's just like
Lords of Salem was like the witch for fucking morons.
I will give Rob Zombie a little credit. His Halloween 2 is not a good movie, but it's fucking insane. Like it's like Lynchian almost. Like I don't know what he was trying to do, but it is weird as fuck. Like it's kind of worth watching because it's so out there, but I don't know if it's any good.
Extremely violent too.
Yeah. Well, so is this new one. I will say that. Like Halloween Ends is like, well, we don't have anything else, but like we'll make it so fucking violent. Like there's that one DJ where they rip off his like lower lip, like half of his face. They like Roger Ebert his ass. It's terrible.
Yeah, that was good for the graphics of that. I mean, it was better than the new Hellraiser violence.
Really?
Yeah,
like lacked in violence. The other good thing that I watched. What
was the first good thing you watched?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The other thing that I watched is a comfort movie for me is Pop Star. Never Stop. Never Stop.
It's Alex's favorite movie.
That's like legit one of my top like 3 movies probably.
I'm sliding it up there as well. I mean, it's just amazing. Everything about that movie. I could not stop laughing.
It's got soggy bones.
Never stop, never laughing. Yeah.
The higher you are, the farther you fall. Ask any coconut.
He was like, we were like a tricycle. You take one wheel away, and then what do you have? Bicycle. Don't use that.
I had different things in my Jeep, so
yeah, that was my fucking favorite.
Nah, I didn't like that song, man. I had different shit in my Jeep.
They don't make good comedies anymore. Like that. Like we need another pop star.
You know, we do need more pop star, but they don't do anything at the box office, so nobody wants to make more.
That's
like every movie those guys have made is awesome.
And that movie only grossed $9 million.
Well, I think
and like $1 million of that was me.
Yeah,
I saw it like 5 times in the theater.
That's how fucking the Movie Pass got bankrupted. Alec just saw that movie 4,000 times.
Yeah, that was it. That's all I watched. I'll pass it to Alec.
Oh, well, thank you, Kobe. You redeem yourself with your pop star love because that's legit one of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie.
Like I could watch that. I could literally watch that like every day and not get tired of it.
Yeah, it's
so funny.
The soundtrack slaps too.
Oh yeah,
the soundtrack's insane.
I love the like subtitle of the film too. Never stop, never stop. And it's like the most. Also, the not gay song kills me.
Yeah.
The not gay song,
the Macklemore video that like it's parodying makes it even funnier.
The line that he has where he's like, "Not a gay."
Again,
when I dress, I assume I don't really know how it works.
That movie fucking slaps. I watched a bunch of stuff, but we can't talk about all of it. I watched Coraline.
Hell yeah, making up a song about Coraline.
That movie is tremendous. That's like one of the best stuff.
The comic or
no, is it Neil Gaiman?
Yeah, it's Neil Gaiman.
Comic, though. It's like a
bookish comic. Yeah,
I need to read it because it's darker than the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. And Dave McKean did the artwork. The guy that did Arkham Asylum.
Yeah,
but that movie fucking slaps. It's creepy as shit, and like. I remember when I first saw it, like thinking it was for kids, and like seeing it and be like, "Oh, like kids shouldn't be watching this. This is fucking creepy as shit." I have nightmares sewing buttons in people's eyes.
Yeah, it's
but that movie fucking slaps. I finally finished The Two Towers after 2 weeks of watching like 20 minutes at a time after work at midnight every night.
You were watching the Quibi cut of The Two Towers.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But that movie fucking slaps. It's probably the best of the trilogy.
I'm sorry.
Although,
for some reason, I thought you were talking about The Dark Tower. I don't know why.
No,
I'm never gonna watch that.
Has anyone watched that on the show?
TJ did, didn't he?
I have, yeah.
That's the gunslinger?
Yeah, well, no, it's this weird, like, they didn't really adapt any of the books. They kind of made their own story that's like kind of a sequel to the book. It's awful. It's so bad. And
that's what the people
wanted. This is someone I've read all the fucking books. Like I have my issues with how he ended the series, but like they just like butt fucked it completely. Also, I don't mean to get off on a side tangent, but like when that movie was announced, they were talking about how they were going to do like a gunslinger tie-in TV show and all, and like none of that happened, and that movie was garbage.
I'll take that fucking Jay Lee artwork though in that graphic novel.
Oh, the comics are great. Yeah, the comics are really good. Anyway,
Jay Lee rocks.
Oh my god, one of the best.
But yeah, the Two Towers fucking slaps. I watched one of the. I told Sean to start watching those Netflix sports documentaries. I forget the title of the. There's a title of all of them. I forget what it's called. They have like an overreaching title. I can't remember what it's called. But I watched the one yesterday, the Rise and Fall of And1, and oh my god, that show is so nostalgic. Like watching those guys again.
I used to watch that shit like every day in the summer.
It was fucking incredible. Those guys, like everything they did was illegal, but it was still so cool to watch them doing it. And like watching that brought back so many like memories.
When Skip Malou was in the NBA, like that fucking ruined me. Like for real.
Rafer Alston.
Yeah. And
he was the only one that made it to the NBA out of all of them.
Yeah.
Which I mean isn't surprising because like I said, everything they did was like none of it was within the rules. Yeah. It was just awesome to watch. But like they talked to Hot Sauce. Like Hot Sauce got out of jail. He said he was just doing like kid mischief bullshit. Got out of jail. The next day showed up at the And1 like filming in Atlanta, and they signed him. Look, you're on the And1 mixtape now. Well, this shit is crazy. And
this is the Untold series.
Untold. That's what it is. Untold, because they got a new one out about Tim Donaghy that I want to watch. But it's really cool, and like they talk to the three guys who created the company, and about them at the beginning and them at kind of at the end. So how they signed Stephon Marbury, who was like the biggest get of aside from Jordan of all time at that point, and he immediately like broke his ankle in their shoes, and they like tanked. And then they started putting out the tapes, and the tapes brought him back. It's crazy.
Yeah, Stephon Marbury liked my portrait of him on Instagram.
I remember that.
Yeah. He's still super cool. He's still playing basketball in China, isn't he?
I think he's coaching now. Did you ever see there's a biopic about him that the Chinese made? It's on Netflix. It's really weird, but like he stars as himself. It's fucking insane. I think I talked about it on the show, but it's like you'd probably get a kick out of it.
Yeah. But this thing's really neat. And so far, I've watched a couple of those Untolds, and I don't think either one was more than like an hour and 10 minutes. Like, and they're really good. They're really well produced. And there's a neat part at the end where they're showing like the current day NBA players and how half of their moves and shit are modified moves that they did in And1 on Street Ball. Like all their like quick crossovers and pull-ups and shit like that nobody did back in the early 90s.
Oh yeah, the hezzies.
And now everything Steph Curry does when he's not shooting threes is like all stuff that like the professor was doing back then that was blowing people's minds. Now it's just common. But that's really good.
Bring back NBA Street. EA, what are you doing? NBA.
Yeah, did And1 never got a video game, did they?
I don't think so.
Did they? They showed graphics of it. It looked terrible.
Oh, did it look like that Wu-Tang fighting game?
I'm sure
that game was good.
That game was good.
I'm sure it was like almost like a palette swapped NBA game that they got the rights to somehow.
Right. Yeah.
It just put And1 stuff all over it. I started watching Brockmire again tonight because I had nothing to watch, and that show slaps. Like
that fucking rules.
I'm picking up more shit. That ball can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery because it just got tattooed.
Oh, that show is so fucking dark. Like
it's
by
dark,
the end of it, yeah.
But his little rants he goes on, and he just keeps going, and he's incredible. Like Hank Azaria is fucking incredible in that.
Oh yeah, and put a big check mark for me for Amanda Peet and her eyebrows because I am big time in.
Oh yeah, Amanda Peet's she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
she's still gorgeous.
Where's she been? What's she been up to?
She turned 35.
Brockmire. Brockmire just ended like last year.
You know what happens in Hollywood when you turn 35?
Did you watch all of it, Sean? Did you finish Brockmire?
I think I got to the season where he ends up in where the lady it's been so long at the hospital at the end who ends up in rehab or something or almost dies of an overdose or some. What season is that?
That's season 2 or 3. I can't remember.
Okay.
The final season. Time jumps into the future, and he's the commissioner of baseball.
Oh shit!
It's fucking incredible. And the last thing I watched the Weird Al movie, Weird.
Yeah.
And fucking A, man, that movie is tremendous. Like that might be that. I don't know what else I'm going to see this year, but that might top my list.
Wow,
it's so fucking fun, and like if you love Weird Al, you're going to love this movie. But it's also super dark in places. Like it's almost like, is he going too far for like Weird Al? It's kind of
is it like
strange and uncomfortable?
Is it played like a comedy or like a traditional biopic or kind of?
It's played like a comedy.
Okay,
because like who's playing him again?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Elijah Wood. Okay, yeah.
Is he doing
what he lived? He Weird Al. He wrote it as like a mock on like Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's fictionalized, right? Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's nice. He like in this fucking movie, he goes to Mexico and kills. What was the big drug dealer from the 80s?
Pablo Escobar.
He goes to Mexico and kills Pablo Escobar.
Like, no, that could happen.
This movie's fucking wild, and it's fucking hilarious. And Daniel Radcliffe is so goddamn good.
Does Weird Al himself show up at all in the movie?
He shows up as like a record producer.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he's always fun.
It's so goddamn good. Like they basically they retell history of like all of his songs and stuff. And it's like this own like skewed alternate universe where like some of his songs he comes out with before the originals, and then he claims that the original artists are unparodying him.
That's
like
now that's
serious versions of his songs. It's really good. Like I fucking loved it. Like I'm probably gonna watch it again. Like, hang on, Lychee, stop. Hey,
friend of the show, Lychee.
Yeah, barking at nothing. I usually don't care, but I'm recording with my buddies. But yeah, it's a fucking blast, man. Like all you guys are gonna. If one of you didn't love it, I would be absolutely shocked.
I feel like
usually the movies that I recommend, I'll be like, it might be like 50-50. I think all of you will absolutely fucking love it. You too now, Kobe. Since you loved Pop Star, I think you'll love this too. It's fucking great.
Cool.
That's all that I watched. Gogs.
I watched a whole lot of stuff. I'll try and keep it brief. I rewatched Shang-Chi. I showed it to my kids. They started fighting each other in the living room. They loved it so much. Yeah. It was a good time. Like they literally started like AJ started doing spin kicks at kids. Like it was wild. But that movie fucking rules. And that movie is like it's so good. I was telling TJ yesterday, it's so good it doesn't even need to be a Marvel movie. It just stands proud on its own.
I think that's why it's so good. Like I feel like it doesn't fall victim to like a lot of the problems that a lot of the other Marvel movies have, where it's dependent on the fact that it's a Marvel movie. You know, like it's just kind of its own thing.
Yeah, it fucking rules. That Simu Liu, that guy fucking kicks ass. More with really him, please. I watched. I had not seen it before. The Jumanji sequel with The Rock and Kevin Hart and all them. Not bad. Not as good as the first one, but not bad. It's the plot involves The Rock this time around is not the kid from Hereditary. He's Danny DeVito, and Kevin Hart is Danny Glover. So it's The Rock doing his best Danny DeVito impersonation.
I mean, that's
Kevin Hart doing a Danny Glover for most of the movie, and it made me chuckle a lot.
So I never saw the original. So like the Rock and Kevin Hart are the video game avatars. Is that
is correct? So in the original movie, it was like a breakfast club, and these 4 teenagers get sucked in, and the Rock, Jack Black, what's her name Karen Gillan, and
whatever.
So the Rock and Kevin Hart are the avatars for these high school kids. They're all kind of basically the opposite of what they are in real life.
Yeah, there's a great scene in that movie where like the Rock is like standing on a ledge and all the characters are like looking at him. They're like, "Look how brave he is!" And they zoom in and he's like, "Be brave."
He's like, "Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry." Yeah. I like that movie. I like that movie a lot. Like the first Jumanji with the Rock and Kevin Hart's very good.
I was surprised.
This one's not bad.
I think we went and saw that in the theater, I believe.
That is correct.
Then we went to the Beef Bros.
Hell yeah. Then the rest of the movies. Okay, so now we're gonna start descending. I watched Men. I liked it, but it's a little weird. Shout out to Men weird. Just in general.
Yeah, I said this to Anthony. He was asking me about the movie, and I said that Men is probably my favorite movie of the year, and also my favorite gender. I said probably my favorite movie of the year. Definitely my gender.
The young lady who's the lead in that movie kicks ass. The movie's creepy as shit. The ending's just fucking super weird.
Jesse,
that is so. I was appalled.
Jessie Buckley is her name.
Yeah, it's just a big old big ass metaphor.
It's confusing because Jesse, the guy, the other star in I'm thinking of Ending Things is also named Jesse. There was 2 Jessies in that movie.
Shout out to Tim Buckley who did the worst version of his own song and died.
Yeah, true. Also true. Well, I'm surprised you like Men, but I'm glad that you like Men.
I mean, you know, I like Men.
I meant the movie because the movie does not. I felt like, and you know, talking to you yesterday about it, like you got all you. I think you and I took away the same message from that film. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think
it's a weird, creepy movie. It's just my least favorite Alec Garland movie.
Did you guys know that A24 is making a Von Erichs movie?
Yeah, I just said something to TJ about that. And Zac Efron is like swole as shit.
He's gonna play Kevin, the only living one.
Did we? Oh yeah. I don't know if we talked about this, but I'm actually like kind of. I mean, on the show, but Alex Garland and Danny Boyle are reuniting and making 28 months later, and I'm legitimately excited for it.
Yeah.
Because those two together, like Garland don't miss, and I feel like. You know, if anybody else was doing it, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. Also, totally not related, but I thought it was weird. You guys remember that like R.I.P.D. movie that came out?
Yeah, they're making a direct-to-video sequel for some reason.
It's already out. Yeah, and I was like, huh? Anyway.
Nobody has a fucking witches? Is that one?
No, this is the fucking ghosts.
That's the fucking ghost. It was Ryan Reynolds and what's his name?
Jeff Bridges. Mr. Cogburn.
There it is.
Wrong Bridges died.
Are they both in it for the sequel?
No, I don't think either.
I don't think
either one of them is. One's the guy from Burn Notice, and I don't know who the other person is.
But like, who bought those rights? Or like, people remember this property. Like,
happy birthday! I did it for you.
Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I also watched Nope. Yes. Also pretty good.
I like it.
I wasn't. It's not my. I think. Was it Get Out? Whatever.
Did you like it better than Us?
I liked it better than Us, but I didn't hate Us either.
Us sucked.
Yeah,
I didn't like Us.
Us was not very good.
I hate Us.
Us, like it just.
I love Men. I hate Us.
I still say that Us like could have been good. He just needed to rewrite it a little bit. Like that ending, like when they over-explained everything in that fucking movie, and that is a problem, by the way, that Nope doesn't have. No,
that's true. Nope does not.
Nope, like doesn't go out of its way to explain anything. So I feel like he kind of learned his lesson. Because like there's like I don't want to give anything away for anybody that hasn't seen it, but there's a lot of like mystery that's left in that movie, and it works.
Yeah,
like
they don't spoon feed you anything. So
and the movie is Jaws. Like
do you think so many stupid people ask questions about Get Out that he was like, maybe I should dumb the next one down a little bit, and then he dumbed it down too much.
I think there's probably a lot
he
of
he made the he overcorrected.
I think so. I also think that like. I think, you know, we forget because like the dude, you know, he came out of the gate with like a huge hit and like he's like a new filmmaker. He's still trying to find like his kind of footing and like the kind of movie he wants to make. And I think maybe he wasn't comfortable making like a more. I think Us could have been better if it was like more artsy and like
less fartsy.
And like Us or Nope is kind of that movie in a lot of ways. Like it's kind of out there, and there's like a parallel storyline that kind of just ties into the themes of the movie. It doesn't like directly.
Yeah, it doesn't really directly impact anything. Yeah,
but it's awesome. Like
it is.
I really enjoyed Nope quite a bit actually.
I can never say his name right. Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's wonderful in it.
And Keke Palmer is really good too.
But everyone in it's great. What's his name? Boy, Big Time or whatever, Top Dog from The Crow. He's great.
Oh yeah, he's really good. Stephen Yeun is good in it as well.
Yeah. So then now we're in the dregs of the last two movies I watched. I watched Barbarian, which is half a good movie and then just an absolute shit show mess.
I'm really glad that I'm not the only one that feels that way.
It is just, I don't understand the hype this movie's getting. Like, the first half is like kind of dope.
Normos really like it too, which is weird because it doesn't seem like it's
an easy movie. Like, there's nothing to chew on.
People are screaming like horror movie of the year for this, and I'm like, why?
No,
I don't understand. Like, but go ahead, guys. Like,
it's like the most. It's just like the most A to B basic bullshit. Like but the problem is the setup gets you like you're kind of there for that, and you're like, all right, what's this going to go to? And then the payoff is just so basic and trash that it's just like what? Like
I completely agree. Yeah,
and I didn't watch, and I didn't like. I did the experiment. I think we teased on the show weeks back. I haven't watched any trailers for it. I came into this cold. I had no idea what this movie. I just knew people were talking about it, and I watched it, and I was like, "Fucking no."
Yeah, yeah.
And like other people are like, the fact that other people are kind of raving about it, really,
I think like the overall thing I keep hearing is people are like they didn't expect the things that happened, but that doesn't mean it's good.
No, right? Just because it's confusing doesn't make it good. We've explored that a lot on this show.
And just because like there's like a monster in the movie when you don't expect it to be, like that monster is stupid. Like
the monster is dumb. The monster is not even the most compelling, threatening thing in the film. Like, so
also I don't understand Justin Long's character at all in that movie. I said that before. Like, he's like, it's like a Me Too story, but like he's not remorseful. And then like at the end, he's just a piece of shit the whole time. Like, what's the point?
Right. What's the point?
No. Also, the themes of the movie talk about kind of like there are like Me Too-ish themes, obviously, in the film, but like, what are you trying to say about them? I don't know.
This is like men. This was somebody trying to make men for people with fetal alcohol syndrome. Like, this is just like it's trying to say stuff about women and believing women and like the cruelty of men, but then it's just dumb as shit. So don't watch Barbarian, please. Help me out. And then the last thing I watched was even worse than that somehow. I watched this movie on Netflix called The Circle, where a bunch of people are standing in a room and then this thing's zapping people.
Yeah, I thought you saw that already. I thought you watched that back. Remember Gogs's Netflix trash era?
Yeah.
I swear you watched that back then.
I did not. I've not watched.
I've seen that, and that is trash.
Yeah.
I might have blanked it from my memory. It is awful. I know I didn't, because that era was happening that was like in the Obama years before we got into everything needs to be a heavy-handed political allegory, and that's all this movie is, and it's just fucking.
It was right at the
terrible.
cusp of the like the Trump Obama, like the crossover,
the transition. Is that what it was?
The transition. Yes, it was 2017. So,
well, the movie is it's just
what's it called?
The Circle. Now, what's funny is Netflix also has a game show called The Circle.
Didn't we go through a wrath of previews of movies that we watched that had that movie with Tom Hanks where he owns Google or whatever the fuck?
That is also called The Circle.
That's a movie that came and went. Like, that's hilarious that you bring that up.
It's got Hermione Granger and Tom Hanks, right?
That's one of those like memory hole movies where like I feel like it's something that I like had a fever dream about that never actually came out. But yeah, you're right. Exactly. Tom Hanks owned Google and it was evil.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's evil.
More so. more like outwardly. But yeah, so don't watch The Circle on Netflix. It's bad. It's got what's her name from
had a sequel called The Square.
Nice. Boondock Saints 2. Who's the girl in that?
I make smart people feel like they're retarded.
Julie Benz.
Julie Benz. She's the only person in that movie that I recognized. So she must need the money.
Cast.
Tough. That is real tough.
Yeah. But that's everything I watched.
Casper Van Dien and Denise Richards star in The Circle.
Together again.
Oh my! Again?
It's a Starship
Troopers.
Oh shit!
You didn't
That's a hell of a
No.
job pulling those two.
No, I just thought of two. Yeah, I just thought of two people. It's like who are just abject trash that like one idiot might recognize.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but they show up together in one of the greatest science fiction movies of all time.
Oh yeah, what the Da Vinci Puzzle. You know what I mean? The fucking Redbox exclusive Da Vinci Code movie.
The like not even asylum film version.
Yeah, Kilbotatrons or something. So, Sean, what'd you watch?
I watched some TV. So I watched the rest of Severance. That's a certified good ass show. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
I watched a couple episodes of Shoresy, the Letterkenny spinoff, and it's really funny if you like Letterkenny.
Love that fucking show.
Dogs loves that.
Yeah.
Shoresy was like 6 of the best episodes of TV I ever saw.
And Apple's in it.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. What about the fucking all the fucking team, just all the banter, like the running gags and shit. Like I love that Letterkenny. The fruit names for the team. What about the fucking
the
pina colada
pink Pomeranians?
That shit's good. And then I watched the first 5 episodes of The Handmaiden finally, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's it's got big lib energy. Like it makes me think,
like Elizabeth Warren level lib, or AOC lib? This Supreme Court decision's just like The Handmaiden. I bet John Roberts is a Slytherin. It's that kind of shit.
Big structural Atwell.
Yeah, like a big incremental change, Johnson. It's fine. I have nothing to say about it. It's Joseph Fiennes kind of looks like fucking Jared Leto in Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, are you talking about The Handmaid's Tale?
Oh, The Handmaid's Tale. I'm sorry, not the Park Chan Wook movie, the TV show.
Okay, I was slightly confused.
So was I, apparently.
I thought the first season or two were okay, and then it gets kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's okay, but people legitimately lost their minds when the show came out. You remember how big that shit was?
It was pretty big.
Everywhere. Also, it's based on a book, and we know how I feel about books, so pass.
The worst.
Burn them.
The book is better than the show.
Yeah, oh man.
Because the book, it's almost like not World War Z. Kind of like World War Z.
At somebody.
Well, yeah, you can't throw Hulu at someone.
You could
throw your Roku box at them.
No, as we've come to
a smart TV smashed over the back of their head.
Weapon characteristics. So the heavier the book, the better. So, yeah, that was it. I been meaning to watch a Chainsaw Man, but I haven't got to it.
Hell yeah,
same here.
So,
it's so good.
TJ, you haven't gone yet, right?
I have not. I think I'm the last one.
I think we're in alphabetical order. Mine is Kobe.
I only watched one thing.
I'm a character, that's why.
I've been really, really busy the last couple of weeks. So I watched it today, actually. I called out of work because that's the most American thing.
Get your surplus value back.
No, that's you're calling out. You got to quiet quit.
Oh, I'm trying to get fired. So I'm trying to just call out until they fire me. But I watched
quit.
I watched a movie today, another Shudder original. It's called Resurrection, and it's another movie
back up in that ass.
Back in your ass.
It's another movie starring Rebecca Hall, who is of the Night House fame, which I really liked a couple of weeks ago.
Also, The Town.
This movie, oh yeah, she's in that.
Town.
So this movie is fantastic. I really fucking liked it a lot. It's more of a thriller than a straight horror movie, but there are definitely moments of kind of really visceral violence, but it's more about like, I don't know. I've talked about this 1,000 times, but like, there's nothing TJ likes more than the like narrator questions what reality is trope. I love it, and if a movie executes it correctly, like it's.
How do you feel about the narrator after death giving a message to God and the audience? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
A question of redemption, perhaps, or.
But I don't want to give anything away about the Resurrection because it's like it really is a wild movie. But like generally speaking, I can talk about it in generalities. The movie is all about manipulation, and it's kind of crazy because I think ultimately the main character is manipulating the audience, which I think is kind of wild. And it's not like explicitly stated. Like it's not like oh, who could figure this out? Can you? Like,
I mean, I could try.
I can't solve this mystery. Can you?
But it's really good. Rebecca Ferguson gives like a fantastic performance. It's almost like a one-hander for most of them. I mean, she's in like every scene, and she's really good. Tim Roth is in it.
How many Rebeccas are in this movie?
What did I say?
You said Rebecca Ferguson.
I'm sorry. I mean, Rebecca Hall. Just
that time you said Grant Runyon.
Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson is what's her name from Lady Jessica from Dude.
Yeah.
No, Rebecca Hall she's amazing in this movie. Tim Roth is great. The actress that plays Rebecca Hall's daughter is really good in this movie. Like, it's fantastic. The atmosphere is really good. It's incredibly tense. You're never really sure like what's going to happen. Like, it's funny because I'm not going to talk about it because I feel like I already talked about it. I watched Perfect Blue, which is another movie which is on Shudder, by the way, if anybody wants to watch it. It's on there. I think
is it the fucking new restoration of it?
I don't know. It looked really clean, so probably. But Perfect Blue is another movie that deals with like a reality that's like slipping away from the protagonist. So it's very similar themes. But yeah, I highly recommend Resurrection. It's a very divided movie. Like, this is a movie that does not hold your hand, and there is some wild shit that happens, and like kind of if you don't get it, like the movie's not going to be like, yeah, this is what's happening. Like, it's pretty.
TJ loves him some Shudder.
Oh, I do.
Boy.
Shudder is fucking fantastic. Shudder. I mean, this is going to make the list too. Shudder is making like all my favorite movies this year. Like, it's wild.
Fair to say it's better than Hi-Ya.
I love Hi-Ya though. Hi-Ya had some good shit on there for a little while. But yeah, check out The Resurrection. It's really good. Highly recommended. Very, very solid movie. So the Watcher, not The Watcher, Watcher, this movie, Resurrection, and I can't remember, there's another one that was a Shudder original that I really, really liked. Just banger after banger.
The Phil Tippett movie, what's it called? Mad God.
Mad God. Oh yeah, Mad God was awesome. But Mad God was not like, Mad God's like almost not even a movie. Like, Mad God's just like, it's something you just got to absorb. That is not for everybody. There's like no narrative in Mad God, but it's still amazing. But anyway, that's all I watched. Check out The Resurrection, not The Resurrection. Fantastic movie. So let's get into another fantastic movie, Way of the Gun.
Let's talk about a movie that's so 2000 it is a parody of itself.
It is the edgiest, youngest man's movie.
It is edgy in the way like Dungeons and Dragons dice are edgy. Like, it's just too much.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this to get it out of the way, but this is like a late entry into the, we're trying really hard to be Quentin Tarantino. This is like, what is that? 8 Nights in the Valley.
California with a
California.
K.
Yeah.
What's the one with the hotel that's split in half?
Identity?
No, the dumber one.
4 Rooms?
No,
he's in that.
Nope. 4 Rooms is a Tarantino.
It'll come to me.
Is that California with a K?
No, I'll scream it out at some.
But anyway, like this is way late to that trend, but it felt like I
but that trend goes on for another like 10 years. So I think you and I were texting. I brought up Lucky Number 11, which I think came out in 2007.
Is this worse than Lucky Number 11 though?
God, I haven't seen that in forever, but I can't imagine it is.
I also remember a movie that I used to see on the shelf at Target all the time called like Bunraku or something.
Dude, Bunraku is not at all. Did I not talk about that movie on the show? That movie takes place in an alternate dimension, feudal Japan, where just regular ass Josh Hartnett is running around dressed like a fucking noir detective punching people. Like that is not at all.
I need to see that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Bad Times at the El Royale. That was the movie with
that only came out like 2 or 3 years ago,
relatively recently.
I mean, the box office is dying, and these like independent movies were coming or surging or whatever. But this was one of those things that I saw at like the Target all the time, like when DVDs were cheap. Every Tuesday, roll in there, and I picked this up, and I just was like,
"You bought this every Tuesday?"
One more Way of the Gun, please.
I'll tell you when I've had enough.
You know, Kobe, these DVDs aren't they're not one use. You can use it over and over.
Just throwing it out.
One of the five other listeners besides Kobe, Anthony. Me and him used to use Way of the Gun as a reference point for a bad movie that we saw in the theater. We talked about
I saw this in the theater.
We talked about Way of the Gun for literally like 15 years.
And I'll tell you the reason I saw it in the theater, probably the same reason you guys saw it, is because Christopher McQuarrie wrote The Usual Suspects, and because we were young, edgy boys.
I feel like I didn't know that at the time. I think the trailer.
That's how I was.
Like, the trailer looked really good. Like I remember.
I'm sure in the trailer it said written by.
1,000%, because it was his first directorial thing. Yeah.
Like, his writing career for movies is absolutely fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
He wrote the Mummy that we reviewed.
He wrote Valkyrie.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The ups
he is
and
all
downs.
over
Maverick,
the shop.
didn't he?
Yeah, screenplay for Maverick, the new Top Gun movie. He also wrote Edge of Tomorrow. He also wrote Jack the Giant Slayer. Like, seriously?
Yeah, he's tied to a lot of Bryan Singer.
Not the way Bryan Singer prefers to be tied.
Oh, he's too old for Bryan. He's too old for Bryan Singer.
Oh yeah, he's about 40 years too old for Bryan Singer. Yeah, allegedly. In case he's listening,
you never know.
Honestly, part of the reason I chose this is to see how you guys would react, because I know the director, the writer, and this series of films that he has, but I'm surprised nobody even really.
All right. Well,
so when I was a young boy, I used to like this.
God, explain Operation Snooper Facts with Benicio del Toro.
No problem. You need. That's why we got fancy swabs to swab out all the music.
I'm going to get a beer, so I'm not interrupting Gogs every 5 seconds.
Well, here we go. It's not going to take long. Oh, it might. So here we go. Movie opens. With two nudniks standing outside of a meat locker dance club loading dock, I guess. And they lean up on Carrot Top's Benz, and then Sarah Silverman gives him what for. And then she gets beat to Christ, and everyone gets beat to Christ, and then you're introduced to your heroes.
Hey, Gogs, how many times have you thought about Sarah Silverman getting told that she was going to get her head fucked started in the last 20 years? Because literally,
you want to do the man dance? The first dance is yours. Is tattooed into my brain.
She's not kidding. I'm going to whip you silly, and then I'm going to fuck you. I'm going to
fuck you dumb and whip you silly. Yeah,
I know this. Baby fuck baby boy.
You want to fuck little baby heads?
I hate how much I know this movie. There's so many things, and we'll touch on it. There's so many things in this movie that are just stuck in here. There. Like the scene where Nicky Katt's getting tortured, that's stuck in my head forever. Yeah. The scene where the old man's pulling out single-shot revolvers out of a pillowcase, that's been living in my head for a long time.
We will talk about it later, I'm sure, but the scene where Ryan Felipe jumps in that fucking fountain has lived rent-free in my head literally since forever. This movie came out.
And this is not good?
Yes,
that scene
you are 100%
is
correct. That scene is fun. But the movie is not good. I'm not saying that what lives in my head is good, Kobe. Okay, so here we go.
There's some dark shit up there.
Yeah, you don't want to know what's rolling around the old duder's head. So we anyway, so then you find out of all the bodily fluids they can sell to make money. And while they're in the middle of a jack-off scheme, they overhear the conversation about a baby for hire scenario where...
Is this before or after they say the other F word 1,000 times?
A trillion times.
That was
like
all
can we 2 minutes.
Talk about this scene real quick, and I promise I won't interrupt till the end of the fucking thing.
Don't make promises your butt can't cash.
I know, I'm fucking like lying in front of God and everybody, but fucking like, what is the point of this scene? Right? Is it to just show that he's a scumbag? Because this is one of those cases where Christopher McQuarrie, like, all of us have scumbag friends, and some of us are the scumbag friends to the rest of us.
I don't
in
think
here.
so.
No,
I think this was a tone deaf 2000 scene,
right? But
where someone was trying to assert that.
Right, but
I've
hang on,
listened
like
to the director's stuff
shit.
so many
that's
times.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Why? He bought 1 million copies. He's got.
Yeah, I did have.
He picked a different feature and or deleted scene every DVD and threw it out
every Tuesday. You know it. Yeah, no, he talked about wanted.
When you stopped coming for him, did Target call you to check on you? Kobe, you okay, man? You didn't come get your way of the gun.
Cases and cases of way of the gun just waiting for you.
I'm that guy that instead of the Jerry Maguire, it's all the way of the gun.
Dude, the way of the gun fucking warehouse phone rings. Like, that phone never rings.
There's two
There's a documentary about you years from now where you buried them all in a landfill. We're gonna dig them up.
It's like a rock of fire explosion just starring Kobe and his like endless fucking receipts. Not even the movies anymore because he's thrown them all in the trash.
Anyway,
he claims he wants irredeemable characters.
So I was right. However, because he doesn't know any scumbags, this scumbag talks like a guy that went to Juilliard Film School. Like, and the rest of the movies, and this is the problem, right? Like, if this is supposed to be like a heightened reality where people do not talk like human beings, that's fine. But the movie's trying to be like super gritty and grounded. And well, what if I told you that the predatory habits of the homosexual, like, who the fuck talks like that? He doesn't talk like that for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It is literally like he had some kind of bet that I can get this guy to say the F slur. DMX would be like, yo, calm down with this F slur a little bit because this shit is a bit much.
Well, like what you just said, Sean, like this is some kind of elevated reality, like, you know, like a I don't even know, like a fucking David Cronenberg movie. You know, he has like he has like very stilted dialogue and it's like intentional, or like even like Yargo Lanthimos, like his dialogue is like very.
I don't think this is intentional. I think it's just so bad nobody can get their head around it.
Right.
Well, also Ryan Phillippe's a trash actor.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, God.
Okay. So anyway, so they find out that Juliette Lewis is pregnant with a baby that's not hers but does belong to a millionaire. So then they come up. They go into their van that's just a driving arsenal based on how the rest of this movie plays out.
Yeah, it's
the Punisher battle
fan. Yeah.
The old man is I think this happened. This is like the second movie in like a month we've watched. It's the guy from The Walking Dead. It's Herschel.
Yeah. I noticed him right away.
He was in something else we watched recently too. I can't remember what.
He was in
was he in one of the Young Guns?
The plane that couldn't slow down.
Yes.
Oh, the rich. That's right. The rich guy was Herschel.
Yeah.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, he was in one of the Young Guns. I think the first one.
The younger, or I guess that's the older. Anyway, so now they decide that they're gonna go jack this baby, and they do so. So you're then introduced.
Now Brian Singer's interested.
Yeah, his lawyers have wronged him and said now's the time to tune in. Allegedly. So allegedly. So you're introduced to Taye Diggs and Nikki Katz's characters, who are a wooden in the sense like doors are wooden. Like they are just
what is Taye Diggs like? Is he practicing for equilibrium?
I think he's trying to be a Vulcan in this movie. Like he is the most emotionless like automaton.
Oh, he wanted to get that role of Sarek in the next generation reboot.
He is in a fucking just like smorgasbord of terrible performances. He is like the chocolate fondue fountain. Like that wasn't meant to be racist, but I was just thinking going for out. Like he is the dirt worst, possibly the worst performance in the history of this show.
And I don't want to watch him kiss anybody.
No.
When him and the lady make out, it's so wooden. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird and emotionless, and like, it bothered me.
It feels like
not for anything other than the fact that he literally is like, I think somebody just said, an automaton. Like, he has no emotion.
It's like watching somebody fuck a real doll. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah, except not hot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I love Baby Boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Baby Boy's a great movie.
Yeah, Lars and the Real Girl is one of my favorite movies.
That movie is really
Tay
good.
Diggs is in Baby Boy?
Is he not?
He's
Who's
Omar
leading
Epps is in Baby Boy.
Well, he's not the lead. No, Tay Diggs is, right?
I mean, more than one black guy can be in a movie. God.
One of us is going to
One of us is super racist now. Put it on the board.
Both of you just stopped talking.
Is like fucking George Lucas. He's like a black film. Nobody
turns out it was Denzel Washington. We're both racist. All right, so
black people go to the movies.
Crazy.
So Baby Boy notwithstanding, they have a baby heist.
Racist. It was Tyrese Gibson.
Son of
Jesus.
At least I had the first letter.
All right, I'll give you that. I can't walk Omar Epps into a Tyrese Gibson, but I'll try later.
I mean, Tyrese and Tay Diggs have like the same figure. Omar Epps does not.
No, yeah.
Those two are both tall,
so I guess I win,
men. Omar Epps is like built like Mike Tomlin. He's like 5'4". No, you don't win. Sean wins.
Yeah,
right. That's what I mean. I win most races.
Yeah, like if I got fucking the guy from American History House or whatever. What the fuck is the lead? Not Peter Gallagher. What's his name? The two guys that have similar names will also look alike. Anyway, if I got those two white guys mixed up, it would be the same thing as this Tyrese and Tay Diggs conundrum.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, so my racist ass is going to continue.
Hell yeah.
So now they steal the baby, and a bunch of people get clipped. And now we're on Baby Run. And then you find out that the guy who's financing the baby is like, his job confuses me. He's like the front man for mobsters.
Everybody's a bag man.
Yeah. Like, so
he's got not like the car scene with the
stepping out and like the in and outs and the cat and mouse. It had its moments.
Bro, you just made us like the worst Thanksgiving dinner, and you're like, did you not like the pearl onions? Like, yeah, the fucking onions were fine, Kobe, but the turkey was on fire and 2 people died.
Okay, right.
Dude, that car scene's so weird too, because it ends where like Ryan Flippy could have just murdered him, but decided not to for some reason. But like, he had
out
to,
of a code
down. It was like, what?
Well, his patchy flesh-colored beard was weighing him down.
Up until that point, I thought they weren't murderers of men. Like, I thought that was the line they hadn't crossed yet, based on
no, they had killed a bunch of people 2 minutes earlier.
Oh yeah, that's right. I thought
their bodies.
Oh, and this just in from the Baby Boy ticker. Maybe Gogs is confused because Omar Gooding is in Baby Boy, so he
there
got
it is.
Omar,
I'll take it. Whatever. Any way I can claw my way out of this pit.
Doing a lot of work for him there, Sean.
I know, man. I just want him to be successful. Being a leader is about removing obstacles after. You should know that.
You're a real servant leader. So they steal the baby with woman adjacent. They head to Mexico. You meet Jimmy Kahn's character, who's just trying his goddamn best.
He is working so hard in this movie.
Like, you can just see it in his eyes. He's so broken because he's like, why won't anyone just?
He's like, I know I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna have to push that boulder back up the hill when I get to the other side, but goddamn it, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Like, the scene. Fuck, we'll jump all around, but eventually he goes and meets people, and you find out everyone's a scumbag, and he calls the army of old men. But in the middle of all this, he has a moment in a coffee shop with Benicio del Toro, which is a genuinely good scene.
Yes.
And then the movie just remembers what it is. It snaps out of
the only good scene in the whole movie.
I think there's one good line in that scene, I would argue, where Jimmy Kahn says something like, let's use our brains here, man. And he's like, this doesn't seem like a brains kind of plan. This doesn't seem like a brains kind of operation.
Well,
I don't know. I think he has a really good scene with every time him and Jeff Mercer interact. Like, I think I want to watch whatever that movie is, where, you know, he's Jeff in the car.
Mercer.
Which one's
he's the old man with the fucking sack full of guns.
Scene, That scene with the old man at the end when he dies, that's like the best scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, for sure. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a minute. Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Even the introduction to that character, though, he's spinning the gun.
That was
cool,
like he's about but also like crazy edgy, like you know what I mean, like.
It doesn't make sense because he just spun them in the same place.
What's more, can I double up Russian roulette somehow? It's like, yeah, let's also like make the guns, and then we'll put them on different planets, and then you got to pick the planet, and then pick the country, and then pick the sack, and then pick the gun, and then it's like that fucking Itchy and Scratchy cartoon.
Gog said this to me yesterday, and I agree with him, and it ties into that scene we were just talking about. But he's like, Benicio del Toro is good. And I was like, yeah, he just has so much like charisma that he just elevates his like. There's something.
I don't know if Benicio del Toro is good or you just forgive him. You're like, oh man, I like that dude.
Yeah,
I think he has a lot of body language too. Body language.
Well, he's a good actor. Like he has like a lot of charisma. Like even in fucking. What was it, Solo he was in, and he was like a god-awful character?
No, it was the second Star Wars thing.
Was it?
He was the smuggler, remember?
Oh, yeah. He was the guy who was like the casino fellow.
He was totally inconsequential.
But even then...
I totally forgot he was even in that movie.
Yeah. Well, anyway, continue, guys.
So they got the girl held up, and they play a game of hearts, and that's a metaphor. But the entire time, you also have this doctor who's checking on her, and the doctor is like an abortionist from Baltimore. And Kobe, I have a direct question for you. There's a drop line in this film where they say something on the lines of, "Now you're trying to you plan to bring into the world a baby you were never supposed to." Was he supposed to? And here's my theory on the entire thing, and I'd appreciate if everyone just listened to the very end. It ends up being Juliette Lewis. God damn it. So Juliette Lewis is Jimmy Kahn's daughter.
Yeah.
And Juliette Lewis is going to get paid buku bucks for having this baby. And then that was, as he alluded to earlier in the film, Jimmy Kahn's retirement plan that his daughter's putting together for him. However, the Chitticks want to have their failed doctor abortionist son act as a OBGYN, but is actually going to remove the baby from this plane of existence so that they don't have to pay the girl, so that James Caan will remain in the employ of the Chitticks?
I don't know, because they say
you watch this movie every day for the 90s. Yeah, like why do you not know?
You are the preeminent way of the gun scholar.
I think old Chittick is dried up, and he needed his son to artificially inseminate.
Okay.
And
but there was never that line was just
I thought that he impregnated her behind his back. Like
I also think that there's like maybe he's like, we don't want another thing in Baltimore, and he's like, I think the thing in Baltimore that happened is they tried to do this before, and the baby died.
Right, he couldn't deliver the baby, he sent his son right in the fucking Chesapeake.
He sent his son to medical school for the better part of 15 years, just so that he could run a double up scheme to get his like surrogate baby born in two disparate cities.
The plot of this movie is fucking ridiculous. Like
also,
the plot is. Yeah.
Everyone is fucking everyone else, and there's like a double cross every 5 seconds.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so when we get to the end of the movie, and then the heroes of the movie are like, maybe we should just let the girl go, and then she tries to murder him.
Hang on. You cannot finish this without going over Ryan Felippe's weirdly
explaining of hearts.
No, his explanation of how he murdered a pedophile. And that's why maybe he might believe in God in the last 10 seconds of his life. Also,
he got hired by like a DA to like kill the pedophile teacher who was
he didn't get hired. His son. The DA or the defender said molested, they would pay for, or they would fucking get him off on something if they would if he would get rid of the guy who got off on his son.
Right. So yeah, Ryan Felipe.
He puts the gun to his head, and the guy says a prayer, and he can never forget that prayer, and he has to say that prayer every night.
Has Ryan Felipe never heard prayers before? Like, what is happening in this movie? And then why would you adopt the prayer of a pederast? Like, of all things.
Well, I think this is a sideways warning to Bryan Singer, but like I think,
like, fired with a crop about allegedly.
This feels like it's from like some other version of the script where this comes back into play at the end, and then it makes no sense.
Like their van was the pedophile. It's like you just said too,
especially when they deliver the line. Like it's like, why? Also, we kind of skipped over it, but there's a scene a little bit before this in a gas station that I was like totally confused by, where like Benicio del Toro is like shoplifting, but then like woos the girl behind the counter
into watching like a video of a baby,
and he has to like turn to the side of the baby delivery.
They're watching the ultrasound.
Yeah.
What
for people that have done shit like this a million times, they are incredibly incompetent. Like they're the worst.
I guess that's why they're not rich, right? That's the whole point of the story, right? They're terrible at their jobs, I guess.
Is that?
That's why they're having to jerk off for money at the beginning.
And that's why they get their ass kicked at the beginning too.
They're losers from jump. Like they know they're bad at this. This is just them. This is them shooting the moon, a la the Hearts allegory. That is also, this movie's so heavy-handed and pontificating, like in everything it tries to do. So anyway. They decide that, okay, we're going to let Juliette Lewis be, but then she decides she's going to let Juliette Lewis be, and then they run away, and then they assume a fucking sniper position on yonder range because they figure something's going to happen, and then everyone pulls up, an old man pulls up, the young men pull up, the Mexican police pull up, everybody talks, and then blah, 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 blah. And then she ends up getting snatched up in Taye Diggs's ride. And then they smash cut to a weird Mexican whorehouse hotel the entire time. But now the good boys have grabbed Nicky Cat, and this does burn in my freaking brain. They hook him up to like a ratchet set with the freaking with barbed wire. It's gruesome. This movie's gross.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like it's a line, an electrical line, and something. They're just like ratcheting it down.
I'm gonna pull your fucking fingernails out and then give you something to think about. And I'm gonna ask you one question.
He's doing a fucking like.
This is doing.
I told this to TJ yesterday. I was like, he is doing Michael Corleone about to shoot McCluskey with the busted off. What I want. What is most important in life. He's doing that the entire time.
Someone said when the time this movie came out that he was doing his best Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
He walked into the gym and put 800 pounds on a squat rack and got like a quarter of the way down. Like it is too much for him. Like, I don't know if nobody else showed up to the audition, but like, he just can't carry it.
Yeah,
apparently he begged for this role.
Yeah, and he gained like 50 pounds and put on muscle, and the guy gave.
I mean, I can gain 50 pounds, Kobe. I don't know.
We've all done it. Matt, the other listener of the show that's not on right now, Matt. He goes, it would work a lot better if both of these guys, you believe them as scumbag actors, and it's just Ryan Felipe is not. This is a spectacular miscast.
But
it's like watching Justin Timberlake
can pull it off. But Ryan Felipe is too pretty. Like, you need like a John Bernthal. You need somebody that's kind of like,
ugly as shit, John Bernthal.
Well, no, but like he pulled off like a tough guy. You know what I mean?
Like, I still think a Ben Foster type would work.
Ben Foster would have been better than
Ben Foster is 100%. That's the right pat.
That's good.
You need somebody, even like a. Like, I don't know, like a Sam Rockwell. Like, he would have been good in this role. Too old. He's literally
because Benicio is the older guard. And
Sam Rockwell is probably younger than Ryan Flippy, by the way.
Honestly, like a Colin Farrell would probably.
Oh yeah,
Colin Farrell would work. Yeah, like
maybe
in
not
Bruges
at
feel.
This point. Yeah, because Colin. Remember when he started, he was in the Ryan Flippy kind of.
Yeah, he was in like this. He was like the junior. What was it? The fucking Ice Nine, Al Pacino, the recruit.
Oh god,
that kind of shit. I'm gonna make a unpopular opinion. I think the last 10 minutes of this movie actually fucking rules. Like, I think this whole set piece is awesome.
Until sure. Okay, so then they're in the whorehouse. They're doing their army of two, breaching and clearing doors.
Hey, Gog.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell is 54. Ryan Flippy is 48.
That's what I said.
So
Sam Rockwell's too old.
That's not like
So if Ryan Felipe was 25, Sam Rockwell would have been 31, and he's not a woman, so he's allowed to be in a movie.
Right. He's not going to get Amanda Peated around here.
Anyway, sorry. It's one of those Gogs like hard and fat. Like what they're like practically.
I don't understand how I'm wrong.
In Hollywood terms,
you were technically correct. The best kind of correct.
So they're assaulting Pre-Saint, drag queen or whatever this place is. And Trenta.
Or Tracer. It's their
They're kicking doors in. They're doing whatever they got to do, and then the army of old men show up with $15 million in gunny sacks.
I was very drunk when I was watching this. And that when all the old men show up in their fucking members only jackets,
the members only mafia,
and they can't really move. They kind of do the Schwarzenegger and Commando thing where they're constantly shooting, but like they're not really taking cover. I could not stop laughing.
We fired our friends. We hired old men.
It was a laugh riot.
They were like, "Here, it's old men and tiny guns. Let's get after it."
James Caan doesn't know anybody old men. He's old school. Like, I'll buy it. Like, I'll ride with you on that one. Chris.
I know why he's doing. I get the message they're sending, but it's a dumb message. But you get a cool shootout out of it.
It's a dumb message for a dumb movie.
This movie is a dumb movie. Like, this movie's like certified dumb.
What'd you call it? No Country for Old Men for morons.
So then you have this gross fight, the gross shootout, but then James Caan, like mercy, doesn't kill these two guys, but he does take all the money, the pregnant girl and the doctor. So in my mind, he's off to the sunset with his daughter and his grandson.
Mercy doesn't kill. Doesn't he shoot Benicio del Toro like 35 times, or did
he shoots Benicio del Toro like once in each leg, and then he shoots Ryan Felipe in his good ankle.
Right.
But he had Benicio del Toro dead to rights.
He doesn't kill him. He leaves him there.
I thought he shot him a bunch.
No, he had him like he could have brained him, and he just like nah.
Yeah.
So So James Caan's out there living his best life in Mexico with $15 million in stolen money, his daughter's granddaughter, and his, I guess, would-be son-in-law. And then you're treated to...
Oh, God, Dakota.
Ryan Felipe. He had to put a button on this thing, which is he's directly asking us to not ask for forgiveness or something. Like, it is just the most ham-handed horse shit monologue. It's like all you had to do was fade. You could have wiped out of this.
It's like Elliot Rodgers' last message. You know what I mean? Like it's not great. And also there's
Flippy, the supreme gentleman.
There's a second coda to this. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, no, because what's her name's pregnant with Taye Diggs' a baby.
Oh, who gets it right in the throat? By the way, earlier in the movie,
gets into the throat by the abortionist. So.
Well, there are two movies we've seen where Taye Diggs gets it like in like horrendous ways because he gets it in bad Equilibrium too.
Oh yeah,
that's not Taye Diggs. That's not Taye Diggs.
That's Tyrese. God damn it!
No, Taye Diggs is in Equilibrium.
In Equilibrium, that's Taye Diggs.
That is Taye Diggs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At some point, you guys are going to shut the fuck up and stop saying things. Jesus Christ.
So anyway, shout out to Equilibrium. But
that movie rocks.
Alec likes podcasts but hates talking.
Oh my God. You're gonna get us canceled.
Okay, but anyway, that's the
if we had any black listeners before, we don't know. Good Lord.
Sorry, Elliot.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Alleged? What are you alleging that he's black or alleging that he listens? Because I can assure you he's black.
I don't know, man. He posted a thing about going to some death metal festival.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
Are you sure it was Elliot? Are you sure it's that Elliot and not Elliot Rodgers? We have our Elliots mixed up.
Maybe it was Elliot from E.T.
Oh shit!
Check mark.
So Elliot from E.T. was in another Quentin Tarantino fucking adjacent movie, Suicide Kings. Remember that edgelord film?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember.
That's a related movie to this.
Wait, Suicide Kings or Street Kings?
Suicide Kings.
I like Suicide Kings. Is that?
I remember liking that.
Well, wait till next birthday pick, and we'll see how much everybody likes it still.
How is it related?
Don't forget
to this movie, Kobe. Like
IMDb relates this movie to Suicide Kings, The Hunted, Narc, and Smokin' Aces.
Ooh,
more like this.
Narc's an edgy movie.
Narc's a legitimately good movie.
I
think we all enjoy
Narc.
Smokin' Aces at least until the ending.
Yeah,
agreed.
The Hunted is good with the knife play.
Didn't you guys do that movie?
We
watched that.
Yeah,
you guys didn't like it.
I think it was one of my dad's suck-off trips.
You got a lot.
You gotta make it up for homework and go complete grade.
No, now I gotta come back and suck you guys off.
We can't do the podcast, so too busy sucking off the guys for the podcast.
I mean, you guys can still do it.
You hear Sean through one of our microphones, depending on the week.
It's that classic joke of what separates a good friend from a buddy. A buddy goes downtown and gets a blowjob. A good friend goes downtown and gets a blowjob, comes back, gives you one.
It's like do you know the difference between anal sex and camping?
No. I don't know. You want to go
camping?
Anywho, that's Way of the Gun.
Way of the Gun.
Way of the Gun, everybody.
Yeah, clearly we loved it.
Yeah, I said the last movie, like I felt like I was in Alec mode pretty quick where I checked out immediately. As soon as I knew it was coming, that whole like fuck starter head, and then they just punch Sarah Silverman in the face like immediately. I was like, well, that's it for me. Like
that's
and you know, like
it's like that SpongeBob meme. I'm
head out.
Well, here's the thing, like I like movies, and I've defended this on the show.
Like movies?
Well, no. I like movies with reprehensible characters. Like I've had to defend
like Only God Forgives.
I've had to defend this point on the show many times. But like it is about intention and how it's written, right? Like
and execution.
Only God Forgives is about reprehensible characters that get what's coming to them at the end, right? Like it's not about like them being cool because they're so fucking shitty. Like they all get like, first of all, in Only God Forgives, not only are all the characters reprehensible, they're all like extremely fucked up and like they're not living good lives. Like they are
like you do not want to be any of these people.
They're not aspirational characters. Or I was talking to Gogs. Another example of a movie like that is Hateful Eight, right? Like Hateful Eight, like I drew a direct parallel between Hateful Eight and this movie, right? Because this movie has the shock value of punching Sarah Silverman in the face like immediately. And there's a bit in Hateful Eight where
you punch Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Kurt Russell's punching Jennifer Jason Leigh. Now, what's the difference? Jennifer Jason Leigh is like a fucking murderer in that, and Kurt Russell's also a murderer who's been completely expressed to be an awful person that does whatever it takes to get his, you know what I mean, and goes.
I'm going to defend Sir McQuarrie here with that Sarah Silverman bit because I've been around drunk hot women and they do tend to say horrendous shit.
Yeah, but like, come on, like the like to like whack her in the face like immediately, like it's setting a tone that's just like the movie can't. It's setting a tone that the movie can't write itself out of. Like, I guess my point with Hateful Eight is, like, the whole point of that movie is that you're happy when all those characters are dead at the end of that movie. This movie, like, I don't know what he's trying to say or, like, what he's trying to do. Because it feels like that's the difference, right? Like, I feel like Hateful Eight is a very well-written movie, whereas this is a fucking convoluted mess. And maybe it's not fair, like, you know, we've said this 1,000 times, but, like, maybe it's not fair to compare, you know, somebody that I would consider, like, one of the best screenwriters, like...
Well, I think it's fair because I'm pretty sure this guy won an Academy Award for screenwriting not that long before this movie came out.
True.
Yeah. Also, like, I guess
I don't think Usual Suspects has aged as well as that.
No, especially because Kevin Spacey's the only one that lives. But like I think it was one of those
acquitted.
Things, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's innocent. I forgot. I'm a piece of shit. But he.
When are we going to stop raking him over the coals, people?
Right, Christ, give the guy a fucking break already. They just don't sit next to him and do line readings if you're Richard Dreyfuss's son.
Oh yeah,
but with Richard Dreyfuss in the room. But
or be a 17-year-old at like a PR meeting. My friend was a personal assistant of Kevin Spacey's for 7 years.
Oh, shit.
How's his butthole? Unrelated.
He does a lot of hallucinogens now.
Oh man, it's like ringing the fucking dinner triangle. But like, no, I think maybe
your mama's in the kitchen.
The ringing the dinner bell. That also lives rent free in my head. And I hope now your guys too. But
1,000%. I say it all the time.
But no, I think maybe he got like a little too hype on like, oh, everybody loves the twist in The Usual Suspects, so I will quadruple. It is like the double stuff of twist movies.
It's like the M. Night Shyamalan effect, right?
It's like the
it's the most twist-free
town of twist movies.
It's the twist-freest twist of all time. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's like, okay, like if you don't care about any of the characters, you don't care about the twist.
That's a good point. Twist. Kobe, what were you saying?
Essentially, this opening scene is not originally intended to be part of the movie. It was supposed to be
Flippy just fought a woman.
A fake trailer to kind of like grasp the audience.
And where would they show this trailer exactly?
Wait, it was gonna be a trailer for this movie, but with a scene that they intentionally were never going to put in the movie.
They do that sometimes. That's not unheard of. That's not.
I guess that's true.
Christopher McQuarrie just said, "Why not do it? It's like it's so like violent and like
so edgy.
It's edgy. Yeah, it's very edgelord."
Also, Sarah Silverman looks very hot in this.
Mod on.
Yeah.
I would fuck her baby head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You and your gay uncle.
I think he slid that in there because at the time it was just all about like edge on everything for movies.
Edgy. It is fucking edgy, yeah.
At least the most 2000s thing I've seen ever.
To be fair to this movie, we have referenced this line a bunch. Like if I had the effort in me, I could probably Klimp Chimp all of the times that we've said that fucking fuck starter headline. Like,
right.
So it has lived on way past this movie. So
yeah.
And so Alec, what was your favorite edgy part of this film?
The only two parts I liked were the scene in the bar with Benicio del Toro, or the coffee shop with Benicio del Toro and James Caan, where Benicio del Toro is like, this is really a brains kind of plan.
Which is honestly a scene that they just stole from Heat.
True.
And the scene with James Caan and the old guy in the car, which you don't really see the old guy wounded, do you? Like
he gets shot.
He shows his hand and there's blood.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that because I was
out in the parking lot with the cops.
Yeah. Well, I assume that's where he got shot, but I didn't see it. I must have.
Okay,
that's probably one of the times I was barely paying attention.
Okay. Let me rephrase that question. Not your favorite. What is the edgiest scene to you in this film of edginess?
The edgiest scene probably where Taye Diggs walks in, and the guy's like, "Well, we gotta." It's towards the end. The doctor's like, "We gotta get her to a hospital. She needs a cesarean section," and he's just like. Just cut the fucking baby out. You do it.
Yeah, the future liberals want.
Okay. Okay, Taye Diggs.
Okay. It's that, man, you really want that baby, boy.
Oh. cut out that human baby.
Kobe, tell me as a youth watching this movie 14 times every Tuesday, what was your favorite? Actually, I'm gonna rephrase this question. What is a message that the director wanted us to take from this movie that we didn't grok from watching it? Like what is something from the director's commentary that we need to know about?
Take us deep into the mind of Christopher McQuarrie.
trying to make up for irredeemable qualities doesn't get you anywhere in this world.
Okay.
Especially in this world with money and like guns and violence. So
because we live in a society.
Yes, we live in a society, a Christopher McQuarrie society. He's the edgelord now.
I'm gonna cut that baby out of you real.
Yeah. I loved all
bad.
I loved all his concept artwork for Star Wars, man.
Yeah, that's in his base. I love that gas mask.
Right? Like
I used to have a poster with that on.
I think he thought that this was coming in hot, like because of the Usual Suspects being really big, and the studio, from what he said, cut him down a lot and didn't want to give him the money, so he went out of his way to do this on his own, more or less. And you can tell, like, a lot of the scenes, like we talk about with Taye Diggs and the girl making out, it's just him there and a sound guy, and it's like that's awkward as shit too.
I will give this movie credit. It has a look. Like, I don't think it looks bad. Like, it's shot pretty well consistently, I thought. Like,
it's described as a neo Western.
Yeah. I could see that.
He was 32 years old when he wrote this movie. Like, that's kind of frightening.
Yeah, and I think the edginess just came out around the time. Everybody was trying to dial in, like, on something.
It was the Attitude Era.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it really
for
was.
Movies,
Yeah.
for real. All the movies that are related to this are around like the same time too.
Everybody's trying to DX it up.
For real. Suck it.
Hollywood went through their
coming out in blackface.
Yeah.
Oh
God.
Oh, they did. I didn't fucking do it.
I know.
They invented.
They brushed that under the carpet with all their DX reunion, their annual DX reunion.
That's
that
not
is
even
totally
on the
unacceptable unless you want to be Prime Minister of Canada or several state legislature positions in Virginia.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I always loved this movie for the cinematography too. A lot of the scenes are just done well, like the old school Western style, and the shootout. The shootout scene at the end is awesome.
It's shot well. I do agree with you there. A lot of the like framing in the end looks really cool, but like, man, getting there just takes so long.
I know. Yeah. That middle is a hard middle.
It is it is both hard and soggy at the same time.
It's like if Glenn Friedman took pictures of you taking a shit, like, oh, this picture is great, but what is going on in it?
If you could somehow just cut to the shootouts, because, like, I don't know, the end shootout's really good. The shootout that you talked about where they do the actual kidnapping is kind of boring because there's a lot of like cuts in weird places for that scene.
Well,
and like
Benicio del Toro kind of designed that scene too. He saw that from like a cops like real live thing that they did, where these guys would go out in the alleyway, and you have to have coverage,
right?
And so you're just walking while the car is idly moving. I thought that was like brilliant.
It was kind of neat, I guess.
The amount of fucking lore and inside baseball you know about this movie is horrifying to the point that I'm surprised they let you have children.
Well, shit, man. I mean, I rented it. I bought it 1,000 times. I rented it once.
Yeah. Well, you had to know what you were getting before you committed to buying it for months on end.
And also, I just like to add, I do like to reminisce about this, but like, and we've talked about this over and over again, but like that era of DVDs, like that's what you would do. You'd only have a handful of and you'd watch the fucking special feature. Yeah. Like I have seen the special features, like the commentary on like so many fucking movies, and now like it's weird. I feel like, I mean, there's many things that make me feel like an old man, but like watching the comment, like is that even a thing anymore? Because it used
they don't even put the commentaries on regular DVDs anymore. It has to be a Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild because I mean, like I
used to live for that.
All the Kevin Smith movies, I watched all the commentaries on those. Yep. I watched like any movie that I like watched more than once, I would watch the commentary on.
Yeah,
and like
how many times have I seen Stripes with just the director's commentary? fucking like over 50.
If you're a Spinal Tap fan, the commentary on that one is like almost like a whole nother movie.
The greatest fucking commentary still is the Total Recall with fucking Paul Verhoeven and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like
Arnold,
that is.
And Arnold acts like it's like he's like, and here, look at me, I was a construction man.
Yeah, I was a construction man, and Verhoeven's like, the thing you have to understand about the rise of neo-fascism is, yes, they gave me a gun.
I love that
like,
shit.
Arnold we should do a month where we just review directors' commentaries.
Yeah. But Arnold is at his most Rainier Wolfcastle in that.
I'm playing a fat nerd.
That's anything else?
That's it from me. I appreciate you guys. Bearing with me.
Yeah.
Bearing with you.
Anything else we want to get into before we get into Five Knuckle Shuffle?
No, I don't want. I think Alec's mad.
Alec
Dad's pissed. Wrap it up.
Alec has left the chat.
No, I'm just the Ravens game is on.
Yeah, the Ravens. They shouldn't even have wide receivers. They should just have 6 tight ends.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Jeff Saturday is the new coach of the Colts?
Yeah, Frank, 10,000 year Reich.
Yeah,
the man has never coached at any level except for high school.
But he used to
coaching.
He used to play.
He got the old Steve Nash gig.
Yeah, apparently he was like a commentator, like a sports commentator, and I guess he said a bunch of shit about the Raiders, and guess what his first game is against the Raiders? Yeah. I thought that's kind of funny.
Derek Carr's angrily applying his eyeliner.
Do you know he has like a super country accent? Because I didn't.
No.
It's
wild.
No idea. Yeah, I
know his brother got pudding brains.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I want to root for Derek Carr, though, because he's like the goth of the NFL.
Right.
But anyway, Five Knuckle Shuffle time. Special guest. Recurring character. Adam X. Kobe. Go ahead.
Shit.
What a pull.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a 7.5.
Oh my god!
Pause. First of all, you can't.
We allow it? Can't do 2.5s. Get out of here.
Well, I'm just going off the measurement of my penis.
No.
Hey. So we're gonna
we also measure by inches, not centimeters.
Same here.
Yeah.
So I'll go with a hard 6.
Well, that's a weird
point and a half.
Because I'm a shower, not a grower.
That's not how rounding works. Okay,
You're
a shower, not a grower. Like it gets smaller when you're excited. What fucking monkey paw nightmare existence do you live in?
His dick is always erect, and that's
my secret cap.
Yeah, when he's aroused, it just flattens around.
Rethinking, just watching this, like I thought, like for some reason, I was like, man, this is going to be cool to rewatch this again. And I went through it again, and I had the same struggle with you guys with the storyline, the convoluted, like just back and forth of the twist of that's my daughter. No, yeah, we're going to get the money from her. We're going to give it back to you. And hard 6. Cinematography is awesome. The premise going into it might be good. And I just love like the nostalgia of it. I think it was just one of those type of things of like,
we've talked about that a million times. Sometimes
it's one of those movies that we all know, or at least most of us, but it's not like it's not going to be like fondly remembered in that way. But you definitely will quote it forever.
You will remember.
It is definitely memorable. Yeah.
Talib lyrics stick to your ribs.
Is this equivalent to like Requiem for a Dream?
I
know.
Because they're around the same time of like that.
I mean,
I saw Requiem for a Dream one time and one time only, and it's still all up there.
I remember.
I never loved that movie, but yeah.
I hate that movie. It's just there now. This is not me endorsing that movie at all.
Oh no, I never loved Requiem for a Dream. I liked the concept at first, and I saw the movie like a couple times, and I was like, wow, yeah.
You want to hear my fun Requiem for a Dream story? I didn't know anything about the movie. I thought it was going to be a teen sex romp. So I rented it.
I mean, it was kinda.
Right. So I rented it, and I'm watching it in the living room of my house with two of my friends, and my father walks in and he goes, "What are you watching?" I don't know. It's supposed to be some silly movie called Requiem for a Dream. And the four of us,
most silly movies are called.
Yeah.
The four of us sat in silence until the movie ended. At which point my father said, "What the hell was that?"
Well, I'll do you one better when it comes to parents and edgy shit. I watched Pulp Fiction with my mother, who's not an English speaker by native, and when it got to the sticking the tongue in the holiest of the holies, I had to explain to my poor mother that this was a pussy eating joke. To wit that, like, many years later when the Shaft remake came out, I watched it with my parents on Christmas, and he's like, "Do you want the cuddle? You want the LD?" And my mother's like, "What is the LD?" And my father, from 9 rooms away, yelled, "The long dick!" So that was Christmas in 2000 or whatever for me.
Base Sean's dad.
Holy shit.
It's not the same, but it's dick related. So I'm gonna share this story. One time I was probably in middle school, maybe, and I was downstairs watching movies with Anthony and his dad, and some of their friends were upstairs playing like some trivia game, and they asked me, like, they were yelling downstairs, like, what's the name of some African tribe? I can't remember what the question was, and I was like, I yelled upstairs, "Big Dongas." And he said, and Anthony's dad was like, "Big Dongas," and everybody started laughing at him. And he's like, he can say it. He's like, "Oh, it was funny, TJ. Big Dongas." Right. Anyway, all right. Enough nostalgia.
Part 6. I will pass the mic to Gogs.
Ooh, wild cards.
Yeah. So it's a 9 for me, dog.
Oh my God.
This movie is something. This is not like, this wasn't like Krull for me, but I do distinctly remember liking this movie. Right. But as upon this viewing, I'm like, young me liked this movie. This is like just an edgy testosterone like nightmare. That's not even
the whole movie.
It's like fake hard.
The whole movie is the fucking theatrical ending to Series 7.
Yeah. It just doesn't, like, there's and we talked about it, there's stuff that's stuck with me. This whole the random bag of Russian roulette, like the torture scene, the jumping in that fountain with the glass.
Either of my son's middle names, but I will remember fuck start her head until I draw my last breath.
That's what I'm saying. So this movie has made an impression, so I can't give it a 0. I had to finish watching it because I couldn't find a TV that wasn't occupied by children, so I had to finish watching it on my phone, which meant that I couldn't even alec out during the movie because every time I reached for my phone to look for something else to do with my eyes, it was my phone. I needed a second phone is what I needed. So this movie, it's just so, like, there's parts I like. I like that Benicio scene. I love what Jimmy Kahn's doing because I love Jimmy Kahn.
Oh, side note, his character, he plays up his character so much that he created like a scar on his neck to where he had to turn his whole body. So backstory.
Wait, did you know more about the Sarno backstory?
No, I'm just saying, like, he created his own backstory for his character.
No, he's an actor. Yeah, yes. But so I'm going to give it a 2. All this to say, I'm giving it a 2. It's not good, but there's 2 things I liked about it. The gunplay and I guess Jimmy Kahn. I don't know. 2, Sean.
So this movie goes on the old Sean 2000 shelf of shame with like K-Pax and Suicide Kings. And when I just bought like every movie, because that's how you were into movies back in the day, you just bought every DVD no matter what. Yeah, like this isn't a 5, right? Because it is not unmemorable. Like,
no, it
like,
sticks with you.
Yeah, we've made that fucking abundantly clear. But it is terrible, and like it is bad in like spectacular ways that are also incredibly boring for large chunks of it. And it's just like it's like a fucking early text to speech replaced all of the actors. Like I don't know what anybody's doing. But the shootout's really good, so it's a 3 for me, I guess. Like, 'cause I think that shootout at the end is like legitimately good. Like it like is like approaching like Michael Mann territory shootouts.
They
Like I
use
really like
actual
it.
squibs for those and flashbangs. No
There you go.
CGI. Yeah.
I
Old
don't think we touched on it before, but I thought the score to this movie was actually pretty good.
Very good. I had the soundtrack too. God.
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh, also the Replacement Killers goes on that shelf.
Oh,
And,
I had Replacement Killers too.
Yeah, so
yeah, the Replacement Killers.
Yeah, this movie sucks.
Kobe, did you also get the serial tie-in?
No.
The Way of the Crunch.
Yeah, Frosted Way of the Guns.
It's Way, but it's WHEY.
It's all foreign guns.
It's little guns and little fetuses, and just a thing that says Baltimore with a question mark.
The fetuses are like crunch berries. They're like little red fetuses.
Kids are digging down for their Mr. Chittick figures.
Oh. Oh man, this movie sucks. Like, it's really bad. This was a 2-night miniseries event at my house because I like could not like, and it wasn't even late. It was like 8:30. I'm like, I'm picking this shit up tomorrow because like I cannot suffer this at all. Oh fuck. Yeah, man. It's a 3 for 3. I don't know. It's just bad. Like it's just really bad, but like it is not unmemorable, and it's. I'll give it a 3 instead of a 2 because it's a lot of fun to talk about because it sucks, but it's not. It doesn't suck in the way that what's that Liam Neeson plane movie we watched?
Oh, nonstop.
Like it doesn't suck like that. Yeah. Potato salad.
Who is that? Me?
That's Alec.
Oh. 1.
Hey. Yup.
This movie fucking blows, man. The only reason it gets any points at all is because apparently, according to what I read on IMDb and maybe Wikipedia, it's very tactically accurate for how it's like John Wick levels of being tactically accurate as far as
what is your favorite part of the movie, Alec? The tactics.
The gun tactics.
Like, well, the science is usually the other option.
How they hold them, how they hold the guns, how they reload the guns, how they hold them with the straps and stuff is all like
now you
military level.
Mission Impossible.
I'm glad you brought that up. I asked resident firearms expert Gogs. The scene where he's trying to drop the clip out of that 45 and he pulls it out with his teeth. What is going on there? Because I've never had a handgun where the clip would just fall out.
So as the moleholes armorer, I want to talk about this for a minute. I think what they tried, they just did dumb. That made no sense. There was that like the montage. I feel like there was just a scene where Christopher Corey's like, just reload the gun all willy nilly, whatever silly way you want to do it. Just let's see what happens because it is.
I didn't know Christopher Corey is from like Brooklyn.
He's from like New Jersey.
Benicio del Toro and Ryan Phillippe and Jimmy Caan. They all have the same guns in every scene, but they revolved them in different ways between takes. Like they're okay. This time I'm gonna flip it over. It was like Cocktail for reloading guns. It was fucking dumb. But yeah, that wouldn't have worked.
I also liked, much like in The Accountant, when he's firing the sniper shots from the mountainside, the bullet hits and then you hear the recoil or the recoil cool. Half a beat later. Like that scene in my favorite movie, The Accountant, where autistic Ben Affleck is blowing dudes away from like a mile.
Yeah, that movie legitimately rules.
I need to see that. I just still never seen it.
Oh, we've already watched it on the show. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it with you one day because you're gonna fucking love it.
I think it sounds like I'll love it.
It was a lost episode for a long time too.
Yeah. He thought we didn't record it, and then you found it in your porn files at some point.
I did.
In the fucking hidden depths. Good lord.
Who's left? TJ.
The critical
TJ.
DJ.
Yeah, I should bring back the Critical Jerk.
No, you shouldn't.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like a 2 for me. And I'll tell you why. I found this movie really unintentionally hilarious. Again, that scene where he brings in like the old men, like I had to pause the movie. I was laughing so hard at it.
What was that movie about the old mobsters?
Which one?
Irishman?
No, like it was like it was like a
like,
2000s kind of comedy.
Oh
I think
my
Dennis
god!
Farina's in it,
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't know.
No, not something. It's something like Knockaround Guy. I know it's not Knockaround Guys.
It's
That's
not
a different
that, but
movie,
yeah.
but it's something similar to that.
But it was so fucking ridiculous, and the fact that like not only was it the visual of like a bunch of old men in like windbreakers was really funny, but like every time they cut to them, like they look like they're about to like fall over. Like
those old men were tactically accurate to how old men dress.
They were having a hard time doing any of these scenes, and it was like really funny. Like I don't know how Christopher McQuarrie didn't see like the dailies and are like, yeah, this doesn't work. Like this looks fucking retarded. Like I don't understand. Like
he's looking at him every day, so whispering himself like, hell yeah.
It's like a guy trying to struggle to get his gun out of the waistband. He's like, wow, good shot.
And the other thing is that the other reason it gets a point is that its edgelordiness is hilarious because like Sean mentioned,
a chef's kiss.
Well, Sean mentioned it earlier, but like I really like at one point I wanted to write down like all of my favorite like weird ass lines that like no human would ever say. And one that comes to mind that I didn't write down, but I thought about it immediately was like they're talking to the doctor and like it was I think it was Ryan Flippy. He was like, Superman never gets the girl. Like, what does that even mean?
That's provably untrue.
Yeah,
also,
right.
That dude's married.
He's waiting in it.
Superman doesn't get the girl. There is the long scene where they're talking to Juliette Lewis, not Julia. I almost said Julianne Moore.
She's terrible in this movie.
She's really bad.
She's really bad.
Really
she's
bad.
like dialing it in.
But she's like, they're talking about she's like, I didn't name it because it's a thing. And then she goes on to like pontificate about like the nature of like what like maternal instincts are to a child. It's like, what is this? Like, what am I dealing with here? We already talked about like the sperm in a cup and then like the F, like what
how many takes do you think they did of that scene? Because Ryan Felipe seems like kind of an idiot. So like, I'm sure he didn't memorize all that shit straight off the break.
Yeah, it's rough. And like Gogs is this is no country for old men for idiots is really funny because like I love as listeners of the show know, I love Cormac McCarthy. He's like one of my favorite writers.
Yeah.
And he does like do very long monologues, as you can tell from stuff like No Country for Old Men, but it works a little bit better in book form. But like it is the kind of stuff that he writes, but like it's very like he's a lot more like adept at writing this kind of stuff. Like he can do the like nihilism thing, but like it takes a very deft hand. Deft hand.
Oh, a daft hand.
Yeah,
well,
it would be like if Zack Snyder directed Blood Meridian. That's this movie.
God, well, you know who almost directed Blood Meridian, don't you?
Who?
James Franco.
Christopher McQuarrie.
And I can't imagine how bad. Like he did. If you ever want to watch like one of the worst pieces of adapted cinema, watch James Franco's Son of God, which is an amazing book about that McCarthy wrote, but then James Franco decided to direct it, and it's real bad. Like you all can't see it at home, but like every shot of the main character, who's a serial killer, is like this. It's awful. But anyway, so yeah, it's a 2 for me, dog. This movie fucking sucks where it fucks and fucks where it sucks, and it's really boring. It's filled with terrible acting, terrible writing. I I can't believe this guy has made so many movies that I actually like. Like, it's wild because I'm a staunch defender of those Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies.
Oh yeah,
I quite enjoy them a lot. Like, and it's funny because they get progressively like dumber, and I just like them even more. Like the last one was like so fucking stupid, but I fucking love Fallout. I think was the last.
Is that the one where he
yeah.
like climbs up the Burj Khalifa?
The Wiz Khalifa.
Yes, I think so. He does some dumb stunt in every one. That's like he turned into like the new Jackie Chan.
Well, I think he went to space for the most recent one.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
like no bullshit.
Fallout was the one with Henry Cavill, and it wasn't very good, but I still loved it.
Yeah,
reloading his arms.
Fucking right. Give me Henry Cavill cocking his shoulder every time. I'll take it.
But like Ghost Protes and Rogue Notes were really good. Like I love.
Well, I think Brad Bird directed Ghost Protes.
I like those movies. They're fun. Like they're dumb as shit, but I love them. But anyway, I did not care for this. So what is next week? What we're in November now. What
we're into Thanksgiving. Prison movies.
Oh. Does anybody have a pick?
I do.
Let's go to prison.
I also have a pick.
No.
I do not have a pick.
Adam Sandler's The Longest Yard.
Ooh.
Oh shit. All right.
You know, I got a pick too, and I'm going to put it right now. And fuck Gogs, we're going to do a prayer before dying because we haven't done that on the show.
Oh wow!
So we'll figure out the kickboxing quotient.
We're going to figure it out. I'll make a chart. I'm picking the new Death Race then.
We're gonna be we're gonna be cut short, I think. But
which new Death Race?
Not
the Statham one? Oh, okay.
The Statham one. The Statham one takes place in a prison.
My pick is the Jean-Claude Van Damme classic Death Warrant, where he's in prison.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. It's terrible, but
it's bad.
You know that joke. You know that joke in The Simpsons where Homer's like they pee in a cup and throw it on you. I've seen it in a movie. It's in that movie.
What about No Escape with Ray? What's the Ray Liotta one? Or isn't that
a sci-fi movie? No Escape.
But it's a prison one, right?
Yeah.
What's the guy? No Way Out. No Way Out.
No Way Out.
What's Guy Pearce like space Lockdown. Prison movie? That's Lockdown. Okay.
Yeah.
The movie that they got sued because it was like they said it was too close to Escape from New York, which I still think is like really weird. Like, what a weird.
Does that count as a prison movie?
Escape from New York?
No,
because New York is a prison in the movie, correct?
If that counts, then like B-13 counts.
So
B-13.
B-13?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't. We already did that though.
Did we do B-13? Oh, we did like the American remake.
We did the Brick City or whatever.
Brick Mansion. Riz is the best actor in the movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, everybody. Kobe, you got anything to promote?
I always do the wrestling stuff over Retromania. You can look us up on any podcasting platform by searching Retromania with a W at the beginning. I appreciate you guys doing this. I wanted to bring you back in a nostalgia roller coaster.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I figured
a roller coaster that just goes down the whole time.
It was a Final Destination roller coaster.
TJ, what was the thing I sent you? I said I'm gonna see how much you guys hate this movie.
Yeah, no, you knew it was coming. Yeah,
I knew it was coming.
Well, when you were a few minutes late getting on, I was like, if this motherfucker no shows after making us watch this thing, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, this is the payback for Cosmic Sin. So
that was a bad.
As you put it that way, I'll accept that better.
A universal truce, if you will.
So, Kobe, you gotta join us again in a few months when we go back to WWE Easter.
For sure, for sure.
This is
a lot of bad movies on WWE Easter.
A million times better than Cosmic Sin.
Yeah,
I'd watch Way of the Gun any day over Cosmic Sin.
Agreed.
Well, just to put a button on our great Tay Diggs Tyrese debate and the 2000s Edgelord movie problem, I'm looking at my own copy, special collector's edition widescreen of Four Brothers, starring Andre 3000, Mark Wahlberg, and Tyrese Gibson. So that's where we're
I remember liking that movie as well.
There you go.
The movie has trauma connections somehow, and I can't remember how. But
did you guys buy several copies?
Every Tuesday.
Okay.
Once a week.
Just make,
But they didn't.
sure.
They didn't have a Target around me then, so I had to go to fucking Sam Goody.
I still do that.
Suncoast.
I buy digital copies of movies on every different streaming platform that has digital available.
MP3.
I own Hocus Pocus 2 on Amazon. Tubi, Crackle, Voodoo, Pluto TV.
Way of the Gun was on Tubi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's zero chance I would have watched this whole thing if I would have had commercials in there.
It was also available on Plex's, like the movies that they just.
Well, I had it bad enough because
really?
for whatever reason, when I was watching off the Plex, it was like strobe effect the whole movie, but the dialogue was normal speed, so it was weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys doing this. This was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it was great.
Of course, buddy.
Great to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Next time, make us watch something even worse.
Reoccurring character, of course. That's the mode now.
So next week we're doing The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler one. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
We could do 4 Longest Yard movies. We do that. The original, there's a Vinnie Jones soccer one, and I think there's another one too.
Oh my god.
Oh, we could do that that Sylvester Stallone soccer movie.
Oh, Victory?
Yeah, because they're in like a German prison in that.
Yeah.
Aren't they? It's basically
it's a World War II. It's like a great escape.
It's German. Yeah, German.
Yeah.
They're in a German prison and they play soccer against the guards.
I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
I think
I'm not thinking that, but we could.
All right. Well, The Longest Yard next week. Adam Sandler.
Fuck yeah.
Get
I
ready.
just remember it's got Terry Crews in it, who somehow gets McDonald's in prison, and he throws cheeseburgers at people. It says, "It ain't easy being cheesy."
He's got the fries that cross your eyes. He's got the shakes that make you quake. He's got the burgers that, man, I just got burgers.
I have
So Sean's watched this movie a couple.
I've seen it a couple times.
I've never seen this movie, but this movie is like always on TBS on like Thanksgiving. Good. Like I've seen, you know what I mean? Like,
it also has a fucking Weapon 3 Super Soldier Experiment, Bob the Beast Sapp in it.
Bob Sapp, is it? Former NWGP champion Bob Sapp.
Yeah.
There you go, Kobe.
Burt Reynolds is in this.
There's a lot of wrestlers in this.
Yeah, Bob Sapp actually was involved in the most watched event in Japanese television history when he fought. Oh fuck! What was that sumo? Akebono.
Akebono.
Yep. So. All right, everybody.
All right, that's a weird note to end on, but I'll talk to you guys later.
Eat your own ass.
There it is. Thank you, Kobe.
Kobe proving that he's a true listener.
Yeah.
I will eat my own ass tonight. Maybe the wife's. You know,
hell yeah.
Gross. Hey, good night, boys.
All right. I'll read a book then.
No,
don't do that.
Don't
eat
say
more
stuff
ass,
you can't take
read
back.
less books.
There's the t-shirt. Eat more ass, read less books.
I still think Matt's idea for the movie, the podcast t-shirt, "Miss Me with that reading shit" is probably the best one.
That's really good.
That's awesome.
All right, everybody. Bye-bye.